So I entered the wonderful world of Dungeons and Dragons about 6 months ago. I spent 3 sessions as a player, and then shortly after we lost our DM, so we needed a replacement, and I stepped in. So I came into this with very little gaming experience and very little knowledge of the game, and in the past 6 months it's been a very steep learning curve for me. I've been DMing for only a group of 2 at the moment. We're hoping to find more players, but I thought I'd just like to talk about my own personal experiences and the 10 things that I have learned being a DM the last 6 months with no experience whatsoever. I hope it might be funny, it might be sad. There'll probably be a lot of people below yelling at me in the comments asking what the hell did I think I was doing. And maybe it'd be helpful to other people just starting out to be a DM. The first thing I learned was always have a pen and paper with you everywhere. Take it to work, take it to the toilet, take it to prison. Oh wait, they banned D&D in prison, so don't take it to prison. You never know when inspiration is going to strike you. I ran a Hunger Games style session. We ran it 3 or 4 sessions, and I essentially threw the players into the Feywilds, and they loved it. And all of that was planned. The majority of it, random encounters, the opposing teams, the majority of that, the work on that was done while I was at work with a pen and paper. So always carry it. If you'll be struck by inspiration, you'll be in a car and you think, oh man, that's a great idea, I'll remember that when I get home, but you won't. I know I've had great ideas and I've totally forgotten them. So don't let that great idea slip away. Bring a pen and paper with you everywhere. The second thing I learned, if you are running a module, read it all the way through. Don't accidentally kill off plot characters 1 session in. That leaves a lot of work for you to do. I found this out when I ran the Curse of Strahd for my players, and might have wiped out Ismark, his sister, halfway through the second session. And that whole angle with Strahd trying to I can't remember the name of Ismark's sister. I think it's like I want to say Esmeralda, but that was someone else in the campaign. I'll look it up later. They're all wiped out, and that entire angle I had to just cut from the campaign, and I think in the end the campaign suffered not having that in there, and my players didn't get the full experience of Curse of Strahd. Third thing I learned, say yes, but be prepared to say no, and put your foot down and mean it. Some people will take advantage of the always say yes DM, and it gets you into a world of trouble. One of our characters got third or 4th session in, and he'd buffed up his deception. Sorry, he's a chaotic neutral rogue. We'll get onto those later. And he rolls for it. It's a nat 20 plus something stupid. And he convinces this shopkeeper that this old cup he's found was the Holy Grail. Oh yeah, here you go, there's 2 300 gold pieces. And just remember, it doesn't matter how high the dice roll is for skill checks, it doesn't always have to succeed. What I eventually did to counteract that was eventually the townfolk started putting up posters of the rogue and all shops in there refused to trade with him. So maybe you do allow it, but always have the consequences in there. The fourth thing I learned, sorry, Got some of my Pepsi here. It's absolutely boiling hot today here in South East England. Number 4. Try to run a pre-written module first, but not Horde of the Dragon Queen or Rise of Tiamat. That takes a hell of a lot of work. The first thing I did, I got very overexcited. I tried running a homebrew campaign. I based it off the Shining Force 2 Mega Drive game, and it was a struggle. You've got to come up with the history, the backstory, the villains. You're much better off seeing how it's all done in a pre-written module rather than jumping in head first. And don't try to build the world up all in one go. That's what I try to do, and you will spend many sleepless nights doing it. It is very rewarding, but you know, maybe I look at things the way I've done it now and I regret it, and I've had to change things, and it's slightly affected continuity. Let's look at the notes here. Number 5. YouTube is your friend. Nerdarchy, the Dungeons and Dragons channel with Dice Camera Action. Matt Corville has an excellent channel, and also How to Be a Great DM. These are all fantastic resources. A lot of my own knowledge of the game has come from watching Dice Camera Action, and you can pick up a lot of the rules from it. Of course, it's no substitute for reading the actual books yourself and playing in actual games. You will learn a lot more through practice, but you know, they're also just great for ideas. Number 6. Steal everything. Give credit, of course, but feel free to use other people's ideas. One of the best quotes I've heard, excuse me, you don't know that you're a great DM until someone says to you, wow, that is an awesome idea, I am totally stealing that from my game. If you Google a problem that you've had in your game, odds are someone has already come up with the solution to your problem. So have a quick Google, you'll generally find what you need in about 5 minutes. Number 7. Yes, 7. Beware the chaotic neutral rogue. 99% of my problems have come from a chaotic neutral rogue. Maybe not for your first session. If played by the correct person, they're fine. Put them into the hands of someone. Well, you can probably guess what kind of people I'm talking about. Number 8. DM's Guild is your friend. There is a ton of free content. Pay what you want content. Also, what I tend to do is I'll look at the pay what you want content, and if I use it in one of my games, then we'll go back and make a donation, a contribution to it. That seems only fair, but there is just so much stuff on there. Custom classes, campaigns, and some of the best stuff I have run personally has been from the DM's Guild. Number 9. The internet. There is a ton of content that fans have made. Some of it not great, but there is a ton that is absolutely amazing. I found a Ekimura from The Witcher, and then shoved that right into Barovia in the Curse of Strahd game, and the player's first job was to actually track down Ismark's father's murderer. In my version, he was killed by an Ekimura. And they're wonderful things because a lot of these homebrew creatures have no pre-existing backstory. You can work them into the game how you like. I had it so that the Ekimura was actually a creature that was long thought extinct in the Sword Coast, and you know, one of my characters was examining the body of Ismark's father, and he goes, "Oh, can I make a check? Do I recognise this?" I said, yeah, sure, make a history check. History shouldn't be nature. And I go, no. Rules to history check, rules well. You know what this is, but this is a creature you've only ever read about in books. And they get some good role play in there. It's like basically a creature of legend, something you've never seen. These creatures were hunted down and killed. They were so nasty and evil and dangerous to people. And now there is one here in this town, and he's coming for you. But that's just an example of how you can use a lot of this content. There's Monster of the Day homebrew stuff that I saw. That's on Reddit. A lot of that's on Reddit. I can't remember the name of the guy who does it, but all of that stuff is excellent. There's also assorted paid ones. You've got 5th edition Foes, Critter Compendium, and there's tons more. Have a look around. You will find, if you can't find the monster that you need in the book, just Google. There's one for like xenomorphs in D&D. Just Google xenomorph for 5th edition Dungeons and Dragons. Someone's already done it, and you can just take that, put it in your game. Maybe just alter it a little bit for how you want it. My final tip, and this is one that I absolutely love doing. Number 10, give your party quirky items. My players currently have a silver statue of a gold dragon, a jade turtle that once a day makes a real life turtle appear next to it, a silver key with a faintly magical aura, and 5 magical coins, all with the face side picture scratched off. What do they do, I hear you ask? No idea. I do not know. The idea for putting these items in was just in case you ever get yourself into a bind, or you ever put the characters into a bind, you have a way out. My players accidentally got themselves banished. But I think I told them it was purgatory, and they were essentially trapped there, and they had no way out. I said, okay, let's take a 5-minute break. And then I remembered they had these 5 coins with the heads scratched off. And I said to them, one of the coins in your pocket starts glowing. And a doorway opens, and the head that had not been visible beforehand kind of reappears, and it becomes the face of Strahd. And they didn't know it was him at the time. And then I had the coins working. This was how, not just the mist, but the coins were how Strahd got people into Barovia. And players thought, wow, you had this plan from the beginning. And I was like, yeah, I totally didn't make that up in the 5 minutes I was panicking upstairs in the toilet going, oh god, what do I do? I've killed them. And they still have 4 more of those coins, and everywhere they go now they're asking about these coins, but no one seems to know where they're from. I don't even know where they're from, but I'm sure I'll make something up on the fly. That is the end of my thoughts and my personal experiences of my first 6 months of D&D. I've absolutely loved it. So far I've done a lot of homebrew content. I've done Curse of Strahd. I was not very happy with that. That was rushed, and a new DM thinking he's been far too clever for his own good when he's not. I know better than everyone. No, you don't. You learn it the hard way, because you realise, you really let your players down on that one. We also part way through running the Rise of Tiamat, and that one's taken a lot of work. So I wouldn't recommend you start with that one. The Lost Mines of Phandelver is probably your best place to start. Thank you for listening if you made it all the way through, and take care.